Yep, and let's talk as a team, and we'll see what we need to do. Thank you. Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning.
Okay. I think that's everyone, so let's go ahead and get started.
Okay. Well, continue working with the story for multi-page product as images pages for Printify. I was analyzing each piece of code that Cloud was generating. Now I am generating the test files, trying to simulate, let's say, the images. Well, I found some discrepancies in my understanding and what Cloud did for those tests. I was trying to use the same structure that we have in automated tests with physical files and expected PDFs. So I am doing that right now. It seems like we can do that, respect that structure. Well, I am in the middle of the testing process. I took let me check here the size of the image. I was taking 625 by 325 inches, which is in points 450 width and height 225 points. So I don't know if this is a good size to test the images converting into a PDF. For instance, if I have three images, I need to put one image as a separate page each. The same for the GATs, simple and duplex. Well, I will commit to those changes in order you can review, Ryan. There is some potential flags that also will be in the notes. That has to do with your side, how we are expecting the structure, let's say, of the payload, things like that. So I will commit those changes as soon as I finish the test. That's pretty much it for me.
Sorry, Rebecca and Ryan. Yesterday when we met with Tara, it feels like there was another project that I was going to ask Mario to look at after this one, or maybe even before it. But I'm trying to remember what it was. Do either of you remember what that was?
You send me a message in the story for the split by finishing.
Yeah, so that one's good to go, but I felt like there was something else. I just couldn't remember what it was, and I couldn't remember. I was just wondering if Rebecca or Ryan remembered. I'll look through my notes. I just feel like there was something, but I can't remember. Something we were talking to her about after we did new products. But anyways, I'll look through my notes. It's okay.
Sure.
Sorry.
Yeah, after I will continue with that story after that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Well, I finished the dashboard details. There's the pull request there. Spent some time reviewing many pending pull requests that I had. And also, well, I received again the rejection for the pull request about the shipping clause. So that was rejected twice now by Dan. Doesn't look like that was by accident. I don't know. Maybe we need to discard all the job there, start with a brand new story. I don't know. I don't want to lose track of that. That's why I tagged you, Ryan. I think you're talking, Ryan. Okay.
I'll have to ask him, find out why he keeps rejecting it. If he's not
Yeah.
being clear. Oh, yeah.
Yesterday I
some
spent
adjustments, right?
Right. Yesterday I was working on that actually. At the moment he rejected that. The adjustments I was working on are major refactors because we need to go and work through the to a migration.
I see. So yeah, so
Right,
it looks like
so
what
there's a lot
happened
there.
is looks like just what happened is that when I asked you to merge master back in, you did that and then you republished, but we just need answers from Dan still because he just rejected it again. Doesn't look
Exactly.
like we made any adjustments yet.
No, but yesterday I started working on that again. So I don't know, maybe. So I stopped immediately after I saw the rejection again. But I don't know. I'm totally fine with abandoning that. I just don't want to lose track, and maybe all we need is to create a new story to start.
I thought we still needed to. I thought we still needed to do this. He just didn't like the way that it was being stored or something. But there's
Right.
no comment in the story. So the only thing is, you shouldn't need the from. When we close a provider, we should close all platforms for the provider. Yeah, I think probably it's. If anything, it's still from that original comment on June 22nd that has not been resolved. So he probably saw that it was activated again, and he's like, no, I don't want it the way it is. So if anything, I think that's probably all he's saying is that it still doesn't have the changes he's wanting, but he didn't say anything about it.
Yeah, Chad, if you can go and ask him, I don't know, because we thought that previously, and so that's why I resumed my work on that and got rejected again. So
Yeah,
I don't want to start over again.
But he rejected the work because there was no extra work done. So he rejected because nothing has changed yet. So I think that we still need to but you can feel free to ask. I mean, Chad, if you want to ask him, that's fine. But as far as what I'm reading here, it's just showing that we published it, but it still had the problems, so Dan rejected it again because he doesn't want it to go out.
So is there some obfuscation on what Dan wants to do, or Sebastian? Is there? I'm trying to look up what's the PR? Which
He didn't like the approach.
But he didn't
Right.
give an offer of what approach he wanted, or
Yeah, he said no central parameter driven. Let's do it with a model change, and also a few business rules change.
When
That
I
doesn't
talked
mean
to
that
him,
the whole thing is wrong. It's just
when I talked to him, he mentioned the biggest thing is we shouldn't have a from, because when you close a provider, it should close all platforms for that provider and track only once per provider. That was his biggest thing. And it looks like that still hasn't been done yet, and so that's probably why he rejected it, because he saw it was published again and it didn't have those changes yet. So that's my understanding.
Yeah, maybe. That sounds reasonable. Maybe he didn't realize that he could have put that in draft instead.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing, is that which one is it? Does he want to reject it, or does he want it in draft? And that's a fair question. We can ask him that.
Okay, I'll ask him that question and I'll reach back out to you. I don't think he's here yet, but I'll keep an eye out for him, and when he gets here, I'll go talk to him.
Okay, good. I worked today on a design story for the beans and cards. I went through that idea of nesting things to see how invasive that could be, how hard that could be, and I created another story of this with that idea in mind. It's not that I say we need to go that way, but just to discuss with the rest of the team. I'm leaving the designing story open in case I need to. Okay, yeah, forget about nesting. Let's do the flat version and somehow gather that information from somewhere else. But yeah, that's there in standard for us to discuss. And the last minute, I've been looking for some book by anyone bookmark to see how they render after the deploy, and now we are not seeing the barcode at all. So I'm working on that right now. I grabbed that. Yeah. I don't know. So I grabbed those items as it is, published them in dev from scratch as ordered items, and start processing them before even for the very first time, and see
what
where
happens.
the issue is.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you will hear from Tara probably.
Probably ought to bring her up to speed on that, Chad. Tell her we're aware of it. We checked it out and it's still got a problem.
Mute.
Muted, but
Sorry, you're gonna hate me. I was working on something else and I didn't even hear what you were talking
book
about.
by anyone is now broken. The barcodes aren't showing at all. So we're
Oh.
looking at it, and
Okay, yes, I will let her know that. In fact, I will send her a text right now.
Awesome. Thank you. And that's it for me.
Okay, so went on the tour with Pitney Bowes, and then this rate shop story that I had, then just addressing comments on it, and yeah, there's part of it is kind of a little bit complex, and so anyways, I'm just working through that. I'm about done with that, and I've got a couple of other things to take care of, and then I'll get back to the DHL flat rate story. That's it for me.
I'm frantically working on reviews and skipping Scotty, and because he's got nothing to say. And
Nope, not.
and working on Boy. Now back to Scotty.
I like the switch up, you know. No, I'm just working on the conversion of job planning to batching, hangfire batching. Still, I didn't get too far on it yesterday. I ended up cleaning up a whole bunch of stuff with cutting planning and getting that out to staging, so that we can go over it today in our meeting with Tara. I feel like it's in a pretty good place. It's quite, that I think gives most of what they're looking for. So I'm excited to show it to them and see what's wrong with it. So that's yeah, that's all I had. So.
Okay.
And then Ryan already went because we switched.
Yep.
Because our names are both Ryan, so we can do it any order we want.
Okay, Rebecca, I know you had a question about the Artifact Uprising samples that you're having some trouble trying to figure out. And did you want to talk about that and see if you could get some help from the team?
Yes. So there was another issue that they just let me know about. That for the flusher, since I just copied these products from the 7x7 linen from Artifact, under the modifier, they currently have it's Artifact Uprising _ Flusher template, and then the value of that is 7x7. Just share. So I'm assuming that we had to create this modifier specifically for this product.
Yeah, it's a job template that's down on the flesher, so that
Okay.
tells it which one to use.
So, if I understood Chase correctly, and Mari, I believe they said that
They're gonna
Andrew
make new templates. Yep.
made those. I can just double check.
Probably a 10 by 10.
And then a 11 by 8 quarter.
Great. Just change the modifier to be just change the size at the beginning.
Awesome. And then it would just keep like the 0 and the 4.
Probably. I don't know what they mean. We'd have to look
Yeah.
at it and see. But
Yeah, I didn't know what that meant either.
what did you get back about the? You could also ask for the exact names of the profiles that were set up on the flesher, so we can make sure that it matches. But without that, we're guessing.
By the way, that timing was perfect. Tara said they were talking about what happened to the barcode right when I text them.
Well, we just didn't want
Yeah.
the excitement to end
Right.
with that by anyone. Yeah. Okay. So that's that one, and then Brian, you had mentioned in order to calculate the spine or to see if it was going to be correct, I should do the math for it. What is the math for it? What is the calculation that I need to look at?
Well, look at the way the book is built. You see you've got a sheet of thickness, then you've got an insert thickness, and then another sheet of thickness. You just
Okay.
need to add them all up.
And that's taking the thickness of each media,
So the media and the thickness of the insert media.
the insert. Okay.
And just look at the book and see how it's built, because you can see that for a hardcover book there aren't any inserts on the ends, but for a softcover book there are.
On the ends. Let's see. I thought I put. So, for example, this one is a hardcover.
Then it shouldn't be board insides and on ends. It should only be on the inside, I believe.
So, because when I configured these ones, the new ones, I looked at, I believe it was this one as an example, just because it was a lay flat hardcover. And I followed that insert configuration that was set up here. But
Maybe they do have an insert on the ends. I don't know. You have to look at
Okay.
the book and see. Do you know what it means by boards inside and on ends? I mean, it's
I know what
talking about
inside
whether or
would
not that
mean.
whether or not that insert media is
Mhm.
on the ends of the books. I mean, if it's definitely in between pages, but
Right.
did they put another insert on the outside edges of the book? And did they
Uh.
bind the case to the sheet with the insert in between it, or did they bind it directly to the sheet?
that makes sense.
But that would only be a marginal
Yeah.
difference.
Wouldn't be big enough for what they saw yesterday, though, right?
No.
So are
Like,
you
just out
saying
of
that what they?
curiosity, go to that, just hit recalculate signs on that page,
On this one or on the sample
whichever
one?
one, whichever one was wrong, whichever one's
Okay.
wrong.
This one. And I did change the insert media.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to not? Do you want
Won't
me to
matter
go
then.
back and switch it?
I was just gonna say because if you had left it back the way it was and did a recalculate and nothing changed, then we had a problem. But if you hit a recalculate, then that means somebody didn't hit recalculate after changing a media spec.
So I need to recalculate since I haven't done that yet since changing this.
Whatever you do after making changes, you've got to recalculate it. See, look at that. I mean,
Mhm.
that just shows that that we made changes to the product and didn't hit recalculate spines. And I'll bet that's why the problem is.
So that whole thing, that whole book was just bad just because it didn't get recalculated, or at least that's your theory right now.
I mean, yeah, I don't know where those fine sizes came unless they were given to us by somebody, but I don't,
Yeah.
I mean, that
Yeah.
looks vastly different than what we were.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to.
Yeah,
you're
before
gonna
there
have
were
to compare.
two.
What I would do is I would just go back, I would set everything back to the way that it was at the time it was produced, calculate them and see what the differences are.
Okay.
'Cause I'll bet that's where your problem is.
Oh, fingers crossed. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Maybe. I mean,
Okay.
we're still going to have to measure it and make sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Perfect. Thanks.
You get all your questions answered? Great. Let's look at the stand-up list. I know Sebastian and Ryan both put one in, and then we have one for mixed tiles. I was looking to see, Ryan, do you know if there was a story for that made, or I was just building one, but that was for the shipping label.
We had one for that, didn't we? Or are you just talking about from what we discussed yesterday at the meeting?
Well, that's what we were talking about yesterday, and I was just trying to find the story before I built a new one. But maybe there already is one.
I really think that we had one in this sprint. Let's see.
We already talked about it recently
Right?
because we were going to do planning on it. In fact, I think we put it in the sprint. Yeah.
Where would you be?
But maybe not.
I remember seeing it
I know we
Like-
talked about it.
typed out.
Accept and use. Is it the customer supplied shipping label by the standard API? No?
That's the one that I texted you about just a second ago.
Yeah. Was that the one for mixed tiles, though?
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's the one I was talking about.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something else.
No, that's the one that we were talking about yesterday that maybe we could have Mario look at, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. That's the one.
Oh, here it is.
Right there.
Yeah, it's number 11124, right?
Do you want me to put Mario's
Yeah.
name on it?
Yeah, Mario, when you get done with what you're doing, if you could take a look at this one, we've already estimated it, but if you have any questions, you can do it. But I think this is somewhat urgent, so if you could look at that. That was the one thing I was talking about earlier. So,
Okay.
anyways, and then you can obviously we've estimated it, so you can go back and review the TLDV and go from there. And then if you have any questions, we can work on that.
Sure.
Okay. All right, Sebastian, you'd put this one in. You mentioned it earlier, right?
Right, yeah. This is the idea of how to nest stages.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the short story is I thought, okay, what if we add a parent stage to stages, and eventually render the stage name with a full path, right? Like saying, okay, something is in bin A, but if that bin A happens to be happens to have a parent stage, okay, whenever we render the stage name will be parent whatever dash that one, right? So that's quite less intrusive. We just need to focus on render the whole name.
Is what we show on the order page a full name,
Right.
or is it just
everywhere? That's what we need to focus on.
okay?
Similar to what we did with the batch component names, that it's a compound name. This will be another of those entities that will have a compound name or a dynamic name.
Yeah, that's great.
So a few stages will have a new field. Oh, sorry, model change. Two new fields: can contain stage and parent stage ID. So only cards will have can contain stage true,
Okay.
so that we can make sure that we don't nest a bin inside a bin, right, or something like that.
Right.
And then some UI changes so that we can detach something that is inside a card easily, and that new functionality we have now for moving stage from stage to another stage will now detect if the target stage can contain stage. We will have an extra dialog saying, okay, what do you want to do? Do you want to pour items into that target stage, or do you actually want to nest it? So the staging UI tool needs to change, but it's not that dramatic change, right? The vast majority will be rendering the staging name. Leaving alone the dashboard details summary that we have. Maybe, I don't know, or probably we want the full path there as well. I don't know. What your thoughts are there? What do you think?
I don't know about
Moving
any of
through
that, but I like the concept that you're talking about.
Okay, on the dashboard details, we have a summary column that is where we say when we say
Yeah.
where each component is, right? That summary table right now is what
It's
we are
not-
comparing, and is quite I don't know. We can show the full path there or not.
I don't think we show the full path there, because primarily what this is going to be used is for order stages, staging orders to a bin and a cart. So that's only going to apply to packaging, and I don't know that that's how they would necessarily be using it, because they're going to be looking at, on the dashboards it all shows batches, but things that get put in bins are all orders. So you don't have necessarily, I still think on the dashboards you're going to want to show where that batch was last staged when you're looking at the batch level. But if you're looking at the order level, that's where you would see the new bin and cart.
Okay. But for instance, in the batch detail view, if ever a batch component is staged into a nested stage, that will show up in the batch detail. It will say, okay, this batch is in cart A, bin 12, or whatever. Yeah. So, okay.
And I think that's what they want. I mean, depending on what it takes to get that done, but that's what they want, that it's in cart A, bin 4, or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. But that's not what. Yeah. So the state handling a batch component is like really super edge case. That is not what they're trying to do here. It's all around order stages.
Yes, it is around orders. Yes, correct.
That will stay and modify. Those stages will probably have parent null always. That means that anything will change for that at all. Right. So, okay, good. Again, a markdown for feeding AI and everything else.
Couple things. Do we want to? I wonder if we not only do we want can contain stage, but do we want something that says can be put in a stage?
Like that it's even allowed?
Like, do we want to
Yeah.
flag the bins in a way that indicates that these are able to be
Staged in a
to
stage.
another stage in a stage, yeah? Or is it really just if something can have orders in it, then that means it can be staged to another stage?
Somehow, because that relies on the zone. In the zone, we say allow orders,
Got it.
not at the
Okay.
stage level. And this card, you said that they are moving around.
The
Yes.
carts are,
Oh.
yeah, but the bins don't. The bins do just stay in that one area. The bins are exclusively in packaging and
Yeah.
shelving. So
Yeah, I would say that the first part you say yes, so that we cannot nest a cart inside a cart.
yeah, that's what I was trying to avoid, is creating some weird scenario like that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I think we can add that. And then I didn't want to restrict this to 2 levels, right? Because I don't know. Eventually, we can have a whole.
No, let's keep it simple. Let's restrict it to 2 levels. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
but
create a
that's not
nested-
simple. That's not simple.
Oh.
Right. Simplest is. Right. That in a tree structure, simple is infinite. Right. Unless we can totally hardcode
Oh,
that to say.
yeah, I see what
okay,
you're saying. Yeah,
it-
just leave it alone then.
Yeah, we might be able to put some guardrails easily on there, maybe, but they'd be superficial guardrails, I guess. Not necessarily, like, you know, like when the UI, we just don't let them do it. But technically, they could do it.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, the database supports it, but the model
Yeah.
supports it, but we don't need to allow
You
them
know,
to.
So that might be
Right.
a medium approach.
Yeah, this will include an intermediate that will compute and resolve
The other
loops and other things, right? So at that level, we can say, okay, we don't want more than 2 levels for now, and then eventually we can remove that line.
Yeah. Okay. Do you guys
Then
want
we
to
need-
ask?
we need to have a way that automatically clears the bins inside a cart also.
Automatically, how? Why? When?
Yeah, I don't know. We need to make sure that when a bin is emptied, that it's no longer attached to that cart, because it needs to become unassigned at some point. Or are you saying that it'll just stay assigned until it gets assigned somewhere else?
No, we have the detach option there.
We don't want people to have to detach it. It should just detach automatically when it's done.
After everything gets removed from it.
We don't want to. We don't want to force. We don't want to have somebody go through and unattach
Right.
bins from carts.
Yeah. Ideally, if there's nothing in a bin, it should detach
From the
itself.
cart also.
automatically.
But I mean, that's fine. Is that true? Like, would it not be on the cart anymore
Once,
if it was
once
empty?
there's nothing in,
Even if it was, they might just grab it.
people aren't going to, when they pull a bin off of a cart, I don't think we're going to make them unscan it from a cart. I
And
think
we don't-
all it's going to say is that's where it was last. That it was in that bin on that cart. And so if somebody grabs a bin
Okay.
and they start shipping everything from it, when everything is shipped, because we already clear a stage at some point. We have
I
some
see.
logic that clears a stage. So when that stage is cleared, we should also clear the assignment, because if there's nothing in the bin, we don't need to track it to the cart anymore.
Yeah, there's
It's now
nothing to.
unassigned.
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't need to find the bin because.
Yeah, they're just
there's
gonna
there's
throw
no
it back
reason
on
to
the
find it.
pile. Yeah.
Okay. That being,
I see.
from what you say, will stay in the zone at least.
They always do. Yeah, bins are always in the same zone.
Right.
Bins will never leave the zone.
And they won't have the need of finding a specific bin if it is empty.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. So that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, those bins don't stay on that cart at all times. They will just go back into a big stack.
Okay.
Somebody will fill a bin and then they'll put the bin on a cart.
Okay. Anyway, the detach option is still useful in case they want to
Move it,
remove a bin from a cart that was
When
or by accident
no,
they.
I don't see how. I'm not seeing why we need to program that. Because if
if-
somebody grabs
if
the bin
that-
and they want to put it on another cart, they just stage it to another cart.
So bins are never in the floor, let's say.
That's what they're trying to do.
Or-
They're trying to make it so that they don't do that. And so all we really are interested in tracking is this bin was put on this cart, and so if they want to find it, that's the best guess on where it was last when somebody scanned it. Last time
Let's
somebody
say-
handled this bin, they put it on the cart. They're not going to
Okay,
take it
let-
off of a cart and put it on a floor somewhere.
But they're
Let's say
only going to be
you-
looking for a bin if there's something in that bin. Otherwise, they would never
Also
look for a
true.
bin.
Right. So if I grab a bin and put it in a cart, and that was wrong, I made a mistake. I need to undo that.
Where you're going to put
Uh,
it. I don't
then
know.
you would just
So
assign it
bins
to a
belong
different cart, right?
Okay. So bins cannot be in the air. I see.
Yeah,
They need
they're not
to be
until
always
they're
in a
not
cart.
in the air until everything's out of the bin, and then it's fine. At this point, they might come up with an idea where they want to, if they maybe at some point they're going to want to say, okay, when a packager takes a bin and puts it at their station, we want them to stage it at their station. Then that would be another place. We'd end up having to create more zones for those bins to be reassigned to another location instead of being on the cart. But as it is right now, they'll fill the bin with orders. They'll then put that bin on a cart. That cart will get wheeled over, or it'll stay in the packaging area because that's all these ones will do. And they will be there until somebody picks up a bin and starts packaging it. And at this point, there is no tracking from there. So if somebody were to look up an order, it would still show that it was in that bin on that cart. Then they would go find the cart and say, oh, the bin's not here now. Where is it? They're in the same place they started, but at least we are creating the next level. I really think they're going to end up at a point where they're going to ask their packagers to package it at stations so that
I agree.
it's never gone. But that's not what they're asking for right now.
All of that is true. They're going to ask for it. They haven't asked for it yet, and so I don't. But yeah, I don't think you need to track it if there's nothing in it. And if somebody picks it up and walks off with it, that's a different problem.
I see.
And so I don't think they would ever detach it. I think they would stage it to another place, but I don't think anybody
Or
would
it
ever
empties out.
detach it. Or it empties
Yeah.
out and it just
Yep.
detaches that way.
I see. Yeah, I was not aware of that, and also that was part of the final process at packaging only.
Sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
Yeah,
makes
no
sense.
worries.
Okay. I
So
will
it's
add
good
that.
to keep that. It's good to keep that in mind that they may make staging a similar nested in the future. But so keep that in mind when you do it.
But
it
that'll be
doesn't-
really, I mean, yeah, that'll be really
Yeah.
easy because all we'll do is we'll just set up some cart-like stations in packaging that can allow stages being staged
Yeah.
to it, and then they would just be able to stage it
Yeah.
directly to the place.
Also, another ambiguous point for me was whether a cart will only contain bins or can also contain jobs.
Both.
Right,
Carts
both.
can do both.
So,
Yeah, carts can handle both.
okay, good. I made it that way. Then I assume, okay, it can contain jobs or bins.
Now, one
I
thing
like
to
to-
consider is that as you saw in that picture, they have a cart number, but then they have barcodes all the way down the side for each station. So they basically they took this idea of a cart and they put the barcodes on everyone so that the user could show where they were taking the cart, so that they could at least say, hey, this cart was last in this area. But that means that instead of 300 carts, we now have 300 times 30 carts, because each of those 300 carts are in each zone. So, does that make sense?
No.
Okay, so if you remember, if you pull up the picture, you'll see that there's a barcode. There's a barcode bar that goes all the way
Yeah.
down the bar from the top
Yeah.
to the bottom. Each one of those labels represents a staging location. But you'll see that one cart has 20 staging locations on it.
Yeah.
Because so that cart will move around, So when we modify the carts so that they can have stages assigned to it, we need to update all of the carts, not just 300 stages, but the 300 carts in each of those staging zones. It's really confusing.
Yeah, 300. You said 300 cards. That's
There are 300 carts out on the floor.
right. On different zones.
Yep.
Right?
So that you can see, this is cart 112. If you just look at that case making, so that case making barcode represents one stage location. It's saying this is cart 112 in the case making area. The book stapling one says this is cart 112, but it's in the book stapling area. Each one of those little colors represents a stage. But so each cart has 30 stages on it, just depending on which one they scan is meaning where they're putting it.
I see.
You follow? It's really confusing the way they did it.
It's like duplication of stages
yes, they're
to represent different location, but actually there's just one.
Actually, there's just one. It's just showing where they're putting it, and that's how they're
I see.
using it. That's how they kind of took our design and made it work
I
the way
see.
they wanted it to, instead of asking us, hey, we have these carts that we want to be able to move. Can we do that? And we would have said, yeah, we can make it so that we can just have a location on the cart. That would have been way easier, but instead they just built a whole bunch of labels and brute forced it.
Yeah. Yep.
So when you make your script to update the carts to allow stage, that's why I say there are way more than 300. There's 300 times however many barcodes are on those things.
10 or whatever.
So you're saying we need to remove stages? Include a script for removing stages, or what?
Nope. So in your story, you have a thing where you're going to mark a cart as able to receive. To receive. So you're not just updating 300, you're going to update a lot of rows, and that's the point I'm trying to make, is it's not just 300 carts.
Good.
It's 300 carts, but in X number of stages.
Okay. And the bins, the convention is the name bin for marking them as able to be in a container?
I believe that they are all bins, but I mean, we'd have to go take a picture of a label. They're all in the packaging zone, but I just don't remember what they are. I will have to, if somebody can grab a picture of one to send it along. Or I could just check stage, or I'll check the stage locations and see.
So that I can create a script for updating that as well.
Production, staging, edit stages, go to packaging. Oh, nope, they're not. Where are the bins? I thought it was packaging, but it's not.
While he's doing that, if you guys want to open up your poker, if you haven't already, and then we can estimate this once we get to that point.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what they are. We're gonna have to find
What is it you need a picture of?
one of those blue bins and the label. I need to see what the barcode looks like to find out what
Okay.
the format is that identifies it as a bin.
Okay,
That's
I can
what's gonna be needed for this story.
I can go and
I'm-
add.
I might have that in my photos. Let me see. I deleted it, but I'll look on recently deleted. Got it.
Do you want to attach that to the thing? The attachments on this story? Or do you just need to see it, Ryan?
No, I mean, it just needs to be put on the story somewhere so that they can identify. They just need to know what to look for when they're doing bins,
Mhm.
how many bins there are, and what the bin looks like. So make sure we're getting them all right.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay, so voting has started. If you are ready, or if you have another question, feel free to.
Okay. Yeah, any preference on how to display the full path slash fake arrow dash
Yeah, I would do an arrow.
add? Okay.
Do an arrow, yeah. Just
Or we
attach
can
to
have
the
add
grid.
and the card on the right side.
Sure, we can do that too. Let's try that. That sounds good.
So is this
Okay.
what you were referring to, Ryan?
Nope,
No,
that's
Dang
not
it.
it. Wrong bin.
that is not it.
Dang it! I'll do
I'll get it. I'll go get
Last
Okay.
one.
You know which one we're talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
It just has a number, doesn't it? Or
There's a barcode too.
There's
Oh,
a
there's a
barcode and
They
Okay.
stage orders to
Here we go.
those.
What bin did I have a picture of?
those are I
No
think,
idea.
They
Those
call them
are
like
new-
a cut tray or a cut.
Those are new staging locations that are that they stage small batches
Oh.
to, and they move those around.
Yeah, they call it like a cut tray or I don't know. So it was something,
Yeah,
but
which
it's
makes me
it's not the
wonder:
same
are they
thing.
going to want to do this? Are they going to want to do it? Are they going to want to do the same thing? Are they going to want those to also be in other
Yep.
staging locations? And if
Yeah,
so,
my guess is
then we
yes.
could
That's-
theoretically do it that way. It's not just based on
Yeah.
orders.
I knew it had significance. No.
Well, I guess you could add that here then and just keep it.
Yeah,
And-
keep it. It's an example. But what that means is we're going to have to get a list of what things do they want to be able to be put
that.
in other things.
Yeah.
And so maybe so if I ask that though, I don't know that anybody's going to know what they're going to want to do.
Right.
So do we care?
Yeah, and you know what? I am not as let's not add this. Sorry, no, I just told you to. Let's wait for them to ask
No worries.
for it
Okay.
instead of because to your point, Ryan, we could get way off the tracks here trying to
Yeah.
do all that.
Okay.
All right, we got a large on that one, Rebecca. All of Ryan's hopes and dreams are coming true. We got a large now in play. Okay, let's go back to the stand-up list. Okay, there's two things. I know, Ryan, you put one in here. We only have about 15 minutes, but I did want to talk briefly about, go back to the Sprint and the Printify integration. If everybody remembers yesterday, we were kind of talking about all the work that's going into and preparing our, getting all of our releases out. And I kind of assigned Ryan to do the Printify integration, but I know he's been having trouble getting back to that. So I wanted to talk about it and make sure everybody understood it, and maybe somebody else could pick it up if they have a free minute, because it's going to get a little bit hot in the next week or so, I would say. And so do you want to just go over with what you're trying to do, and then we can maybe, and if somebody else has time to pick this up, this is probably something that's pretty important too.
Yeah, so it's a while back, but all I did is I started stubbing out a Printify order controller to work with their documentation. If you go over to the attachments, there is if I remember right, there's a YAML for their supply API. There's also a login to Printify that has their updated documentation that you can reference. They have built a way for us to send notifications about statuses, so our They want both. They want to be able to query the status of an order, but then they also are allowing us to send a status, so that will reduce on them consistently pinging us. So Dan was okay with it, but all we just need to do is it was rough. It was started working on it. I just wanted to go in and fine tune it, but I just haven't been able to get back to it. So that's the Printify branch that's from early May, so it's been a while. Printify was going through Order Desk.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know what that comment's from. Let's delete that comment. I don't think that's correct. Printify is a new integration.
I can look at that one if
Okay.
needs to be.
Yeah, why don't you take a look at that, and then sounds like you're kind of at a place with cut planning, right? Until we go over it with them this afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
and the thing I was working on needs to happen, but it's not probably as important. So
Okay. Yeah, take a look at this, and you got Ryan right there too. If you have any questions with what he was trying to do.
I'm not the Ryan you're looking for.
I'm not the Ryan you're looking for.
he's not the Ryan I'm looking for.
That's the Ryan you're looking for over there. That's the one.
There's nobody there.
Redirect.
Redirect him.
Okay.
Anyway,
We've already estimated this, so I just wanted to bring that up. And that sounds like that might fit into Scotty's schedule today. So
sounds great.
see where you can go with that. And then Ryan, you had entered one other thing in the stand-up. Did you want to go over that today?
Let's take a look and see. This is just this came out. This is what we kept asking people. Nobody could give us an answer, and so we had Chatbooks and we had resources there. Pity bows all in the same room, and so we talked about whether or not we could remove that barcode for Chatbooks, and they said, yeah, we don't use it. So this is the story, just do that. So there's a mailing label and a mailing envelope. We are going to remove the barcode from both places that has the integration key in it, and then we're going to move the integration key number over to the right hand side underneath our order number, and we're going to prefix it with a CB. They also asked us to switch the prefix from APA to ALX. I said, great, we'll switch that. So that's what that is, and then we can shift the whole address block up higher away from. I know we already moved it away from the, but now we can just kind of make it look more like a normal envelope instead of having to fight with that.
I remember now. It's taking me a minute. That's that big envelope, that big barcode that we were
Right in the middle
talking
of
about.
Right in the middle of the envelope. Yep.
Yep. Okay, I'm with you now.
Okay. So this is not urgent, but it would be nice to get it done while we're thinking about it, and while they also were thinking about it, and they gave us the okay. So it'd be nice to get it done, so that way, if there is something, they can push back and say, "Oh yeah, we know we told you," instead of "Why did you do this?" So.
Chuck, do you have a sample or something you could attach to this? I could go find one too. If you don't, I just didn't know if you had something that you
I might.
could
Yeah, I do. I have one.
I just thought so. To
Yeah.
be
Grab
clear,
one
so
too.
yeah. I mean, we just added as an attachment so that we, if somebody picks it up, they know exactly which one. Because you said it's on the book and the envelope. I know of the one on the envelope. I didn't know there was one on the book as well.
Not the book.
No.
The
Oh,
envelope and the mailing label. There's a mailing label and
Mailing
a
label.
envelope file.
Yeah.
Got it.
Both of those places.
Because it's just depend. They'll use one or the other, and
Yep.
move it.
Also,
Okay.
the envelope is getting created as an item, and it has an item ID with the barcode. With the mailing label, then it has a barcode. I think that APA is blank.
We just fixed that.
Barcode
actually.
is blank.
That's
Oh, it is
just out.
fixed. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. I was just gonna make sure because that was how we didn't have to open all those that we had to redo. Is because we used their integration key, but the order ID is better. But without either, it would be
Then we're in trouble.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Okay.
Okay, and then there's a vote is open for this if y'all are ready. or if there's other questions, you can ask those too.
And do we want to put this in the
Yeah.
current iteration?
Let's just put it in there. Like
Get it
Ryan
done.
said, it's not super critical, but while they're thinking of it, if it would be nice to just knock this out in the next week or so and be done with it.
Awesome.
So I'll probably move it up kind of high. I mean, it's probably above like any of the Q4 stuff for the most part, because that we have a little bit of time on that. So I'll move it up the list and just if in the next week or so. And maybe actually, Mario, this might be a good one. Not necessarily today, but in the next, week or something, you could pick this one up and take it.
Sure,
Do that.
I will do that.
You could just add Mario as the on that, and then he'll know that when he, in a day or two when he gets to it, he can look for it and see his name on it. Okay, that's all I had for today. I still have questions on some of this other stuff. So does anybody else have anything else? And I'll keep an eye out for Dan Sebastian to ask him about if he meant to reject that or just send that to draft or what his intention was.
Okay, good. Back to book anatomy. Sorry, book by anyone. By refile processing, everything fixes, right? So it's the first run what's broken. So
Okay.
maybe we want, and there are just 3 products for
Yeah, just
So-
reprocess them all.
right, but we need to make sure to refile process before batching
Yeah.
as well
So
until
we'll
I
just
find
do it
a
right now.
solution. Right,
As well as what?
but yeah, but I mean
It's always broken, is what Sebastian
Right
said the
before
first
batching.
time.
right? Because the first time it runs, it fails to place the barcode. The second time, because
Oh, I see.
the order dimension changes on the fly, so
Yeah.
it's not fully reentrant. Let's say
I see.
actually
Need
the
to
second
make it
time.
more. Okay,
Right.
that makes
So-
sense. All right.
What I say, in the meantime, if we know that I don't know in 2 hours the battery runs, okay, refile process.
It'll run at 2
I don't
a.m.
know.
the next day, so we have some time. If we can fix that, we'll get that
Oh,
in
great.
with today. If we can,
Oh, awesome.
we'll deploy that today.
Awesome, great. That was the next question. Great.
So you're just gonna do like a cron or some type of thing that will just
No.
refile process
Just
it,
fix
or?
it.
We're just
Problem.
going to get the fix in, and then we're going to
Right.
redeploy it, and then we'll refile processing everything
got
at
it.
that point.
Okay, got it.
Right. Maybe, so with that being said, maybe we want to refile process anyway now in case they want to put preprints,
Sure.
right? Okay.
Yep.
Good. I will put those 3.
Cue those up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
All right,
So
thanks,
just
guys.
to-
Oh,
Just
go
to
ahead.
reiterate, so that's going to be your number 1 priority. You're working on
Right.
that now. I'm going to hold the deploy for that PR.
Okay. Good.
Okay. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay,
Sounds good.
Thanks, everybody.
See you guys.
see ya.
Bye.
Bye bye.
See ya.
Bye.